Okay, for the assignments here in week 2, there are some settings that we want to get right before we begin coding. We're going to come to the left navigation pane here in Visual Studio Code. Come all the way down to the gear icon, click it once, and then come up to Settings. And this will open the settings screen for us here in Visual Studio Code. Now you'll notice two things. There are user settings and workspace settings. And basically they are the same at this point because you're just getting started. You don't really need to worry about workspace because that is something that you would use in a company if you were working with others in a team setting. But for a single user on your own local computer, you can just use the user settings. And it starts here with commonly used settings, and we can come over into this scrolling area and just come down to the second one that's called font size. And we're going to change our font size to something a little bit larger, maybe 16, maybe you need 18 or whatever. This is really simply increasing the size of the font on the page so that your eyes don't get so tired of squinting and looking at small font on the screen. Then come right below that and you see here the font family. And this is the type of font that we're going to be using. And the default here is Consolus. And what we want to do is change Consolus. And I have provided for you a TrueType font here called Monaco. It's in your Week 2 Dropbox folder. And so we're going to right click on Monaco and then open. It says Reveal in File Explorer. So this would open up your folder here in Windows Explorer. And then on Monaco TTF, just right click it. And then before we install it, let me just clarify one thing. This is only for people working with a Windows computer. If you have a Mac computer, you already have Monaco installed as a default font on your Mac computer. So if you're on a Windows computer, then just select this option right here, Install for all users. Just select it. It's a very fast install. That's it. Now what we want to do is to come over to where it says Consolus here under Font Family and simply type Monaco. And that will get the best font type in your editor so that you'll be able to distinguish between some of the letters and things. You'll see this come up later. So we want to get that setting. Change your font to Monaco. And if you're on an Apple computer, try to make sure that you're using Monaco as your default font. And you'll see why after we get started. Now, we also want to change some settings that deal with word wrap. And the best thing to do here, because this scrolling area is huge. There are many, many lines and many settings. So we're just going to come up here to search settings and type word wrap. Press enter. And here are your word wrap settings. The first thing we want to do here is to make sure that word wrap is set to on. Yours, if the default setting may be off. So if it is, just change it to on, and then right below that where it says word wrap column, sort of a default for many years has been 80. Let's change that to 120 and make our screens a little bit wider. So word wrap is turned on and word wrap column is 120 columns. Now we want to change also a setting or two inside of the Emmet extension that is pre-installed here inside of Visual Studio Code. So we're going to come up here to the search area and we'll just take everything out of there. That'll bring us right back to our regular settings and then come all the way down to extensions and then come down under extensions to Emmet. And here you'll see Emmet. We're going to come down to an option down here that says show expanded abbreviation. Yeah, show expanded abbreviation right here. Now, we're going to select this and change where it says always. We're going to put it where it says in markup and style sheet files only. That's all we want for that. Now the other thing we want to do is to come down to where it says trigger expansion on tab and make sure that that box is checked. So trigger expansion on tab, check it, and that's all we need to do. We're going to Control S to save all this. Now the last thing we need to do is to add one new extension. So we're going to come over to the left pane, slide down till we come to the extensions icon, click it. It will show us that we have Live Server installed. You should have done that in week 1. And then come up here and just type in the word Beautify. And the one that we're going to want here is this first one that says Beautify 1.5.0. So we'll select the Install button. It tells us here that it's installing. So at this point we can just close the screen. And I'm just going to close down Visual Studio. And the next time we open it, it'll be ready to go.